Have you ever been in a meeting, you know, bursting with a great idea, but then you say it and it just kind of lands flat?
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe you're working super hard on something, but you keep like hitting roadblocks,
Yeah.
maybe miscommunications, or just not clicking with the right people.
Mm-hmm.
It's that really frustrating feeling knowing you've got something great, but you just can't seem to get it across effectively.
That's such a perfect way to put it, because what you're describing, I mean, that's a challenge so many people face, right?
Yeah,
Especially now, everything's so technical, so specialized.
exactly.
We spend years like honing our skills, coding, design, research, whatever it is, but it still feels like something's missing, that missing piece for, real impact,
Yeah.
real connection.
Yeah.
So today, that's what we're doing a deep dive into. That crucial, often kind of overlooked ingredient, people skills.
Ah, okay.
We're going to unpack why these aren't just like nice to haves. They're absolute accelerators for your success. And we'll give you some really actionable strategies you can use like right away. It's funny, Theodore Roosevelt actually nailed this ages ago. He said, the most important single ingredient in the formula for success is knowing how to get along with people. It makes everything easier.
Wow.
And what's amazing is how true that still feels, maybe even more true today, with us being so connected online, but maybe sometimes feeling a bit isolated too.
I love that quote, yeah.
Yeah.
It really sets the stage. We sort of know it's true intellectually, but why do so many of us, especially people with tons of technical know-how, still struggle with this stuff? What's the real core problem here?
Right. It's more than just nodding along and saying people skills are important. We need to get why they often get pushed aside. What's really interesting and maybe a bit provocative is that our systems education work, they're kind of broken in this way.
How so?
They train us meticulously in logic, data, technical stuff. We learn to build complex things, solve equations, make amazing visuals, but there's this huge gap,
Yeah.
They don't really teach us how to handle the human part, how to debug a tough conversation, or how to design a good relationship.
That's so true.
And look, every single person, I really believe this, everyone has some kind of innate brilliance, a talent, an idea, a skill they want to share. But without the people skills, that brilliance often just stays locked up inside.
So it's not about lacking talent, it's more like lacking the translation skills.
Exactly. Perfect way to put it. Think about it, right? You could be the most amazing software engineer, but if you can't explain your idea clearly to the rest of the team, maybe the non-technical people,
Right.
your brilliant solution might just fizzle out. Or like that wedding photographer example, Maggie, incredible photos, but if she can't connect with a bride who's super stressed out,
She won't get the job.
exactly, she won't get hired. Or Jason, the coach, he needs that rapport to actually help his clients. Even Terry, working from home, when he does need to interact, those skills are vital to make those moments count. People skills are the bridge. They get your talent out there. It's how you influence, inspire, collaborate. So our mission today, really, is to help give you that bridge. How to speak so people actually listen, build good relationships, and, help you share your unique brilliance.
That makes total sense. Okay, so if we're ready to build that bridge, and we accept people's skills are learnable, not just some magic art, where do we start? What's like a foundational technique we can use right now? Especially because, let's face it, a lot of conversations feel kind of shallow or rushed.
Yeah, that's a great question. One of the biggest hurdles in conversation is actually our own internal chatter, specifically what I sometimes think of as the fear of silence.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Right? We feel this urge to jump in, fill any pause. We're busy thinking about our next point while the other person's still talking.
Guilty?
We all are. There was this fascinating insight from someone who did a vow of silence thing. They said, when I'm talking, I'm not learning. And when I'm thinking about talking, I'm also not learning.
Hello.
It means we're often only half listening, right? Which leads to those stunted conversations, misconnections.
Okay, so how do we fight that? How do we actually listen?
So there's this really powerful technique called RUCK. It's an acronym. Rephrase their ideas, use their own words, and check in.
RUCK.
It's basically a structure to force yourself to really listen. And just as importantly, it validates what the other person is saying, makes them feel genuinely heard.
Wait, hang on. Can you give me a super clear example? Like, how does RUCK work in a real, maybe stressful situation? Because it sounds simple, but, in the heat of the moment.
Totally. Let's walk through one. Okay, imagine a wedding photographer gets an email from a potential client, a bride, who sounds pretty stressed.
Okay.
The bride emails, "Thanks for sending the portfolio. I'm a little stressed and overwhelmed with wedding stuff right now. As soon as it gets less busy, I'll circle back.
Right. Standard stressed bride email.
Exactly. Now, a typical response may be a bit unhelpful. Focused only on the photographer's goal might be, sure, did you like the portfolio? Next steps are booking an engagement shoot. We can do that now. Let me know.
Oof. Yeah, that just completely ignores the stress, doesn't it? Makes her feel like just another sale.
Precisely. It's pushing your own agenda. Now, let's try RUCK.
Okay.
A RUCK response would sound more like this. It sounds like you're feeling really stressed and overwhelmed with all the wedding planning right now. That's the rephrase and use their words part.
Ah, okay. Using stressed and overwhelmed.
Exactly. Then you check in with empathy. I can see how that would be difficult. When things calm down, I'd be happy to discuss things further, or maybe we could just jump on a quick 15-minute call whenever you're ready.
Oh, that feels completely different.
Doesn't it? You've rephrased, used her words, stressed and overwhelmed, and checked in. I can see how that's difficult when you're ready. It's not just about being nice, it's hitting those fundamental human needs.
Like Maslow's hierarchy.
Exactly. You're tapping into belonging, esteem. You're making her feel heard and understood before trying to move forward. That validation creates an instant connection, builds trust. That's where that warm and fuzzy feeling comes from. It's actually a huge step towards a productive relationship.
That's incredibly powerful for building connection. But what about the other side of the coin? What if we're the ones feeling overwhelmed, our energy just totally zapped by, draining interactions, maybe even toxic people? Setting boundaries feels, well, even harder sometimes, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It can feel really difficult, especially if you tend to be a people pleaser. But it connects directly to this really key idea, sometimes called PQ law, #3.
Yeah.
We can take control of how you spend your time and who you spend it with.
Okay, control.
Yeah, because if you don't actively set boundaries, you end up like Lacey in the example, remember, forcing yourself to go to networking events she hated, then getting home feeling totally zapped, just drained, couldn't focus on her actual work.
Been there.
Right. So we need tools. Concrete ways to set boundaries gracefully without feeling guilty. And there's this great 5-step script for how to say no. It's surprisingly effective.
Okay, I'm ready. Give it to me.
All right. Step 1, start grateful. Always. Thank you so much for the invite, or thanks for thinking of me.
Simple enough.
Step 2, use simple, direct language. I don't be able to make it. Or I can't commit to that right now.
Direct, okay.
Step 3, and this is the kicker, the hardest part for a lot of us. You do not need to explain why.
Whoa. Really?
Yeah.
No excuse.
No excuse needed. You have the right to decline politely and directly. No need to defend, explain, justify your feelings or your time. This is where people get tangled up, right? Long, elaborate reasons.
Totally. You feel obligated.
Exactly. Step 4, if you genuinely want to, offer an alternative. But I'd love to get coffee with you next week instead. Or maybe I can help in a different way. This softens it, shows goodwill if it's appropriate and you mean it.
Okay, optional.
Optional and authentic. And finally, step 5, stick with it. Be consistent. This teaches people, especially those maybe less respectful of boundaries, that you mean what you say, that you value your time.
That third point about not needing to explain. Wow. That feels revolutionary for so many people, probably me included. We feel this huge pressure to justify everything. But doesn't offering an alternative sometimes feel like you're just delaying the inevitable no, especially if you're feeling guilty?
That's a really insightful question. It gets to the heart of it. The key is your intention and whether the alternative is genuine. If you offer something you actually prefer and can do, like coffee instead of a late party, you're not delaying, you're redirecting the connection to a way that works for you.
Ah, redirecting. I like that.
But if you offer an alternative out of guilt, something you don't want to do, then yeah, you're just kicking the can down the road. The know why part is liberating because it respects your autonomy and trusts the other person to handle a simple no.
Okay. Can you give an example of using that script?
Sure. So I got invited to a birthday party recently, started at like 10:30 p.m. Now 10:30 p.m., that's my bedtime.
Ask you.
My first instinct, panic. Start inventing some elaborate excuse. Instead, I just use the script. Thank you so much for the invite. I won't be able to make it. Then the optional alternative. I'd love to take you out for birthday brunch instead, though. When works for you.
And what happened?
Absolutely zero resistance. Just, oh, okay, brunch sounds great. It was direct, simple, no drama. And look, for really, really difficult people where even that script feels too soft, there's another tool. The when, feel, need technique.
When, feel, need.
Yeah. It's structured like this. When you do the specific behavior, I feel your specific emotion. I need you to request a specific action. Like, When you don't call me back after saying you will, I feel worried. I need you to just send a quick text saying everything's okay. It sets a clear boundary without blaming or arguing.
Okay, that sounds super practical, both for building relationships proactively and for protecting yourself. But let's be honest, some people are just difficult.
Right. And what about those times you have to interact with someone you dread? Like that challenging colleague you can't just avoid, or maybe a prickly relative at Thanksgiving. How did these skills work then?
That's such a fair point. And yeah, we all have those people in our lives. We absolutely encounter difficult people. But here's a really helpful concept to keep in mind. The iceberg illusion.
Iceberg illusion.
Yeah, think about it. What we see, the difficult behavior, the resistance, the curt reply, that's just the tip of the iceberg, right? Below the surface, hidden, are all their fears, their unmet needs, past stuff, insecurities, anxieties. The illusion is thinking the tip is the whole iceberg, that what you see is all there is.
So our goal isn't to fix them. It's not to snap them out of it or change who they are. The goal is more like trying to uncover their matrix, understand what's going on under the surface, what's their personality type maybe, what do they value, what actually motivates them.
So it's less about trying to change them and more about changing our approach, trying to understand them better. That feels like a big mental shift.
It is. It's about empowering you to navigate it better. And there's this, really powerful strategy for these tricky situations. Combine the Pygmalion effect with the Franklin effect.
Pygmalion and Franklin. Sounds like a law firm.
Maybe it should be. So the Pygmalion effect is basically expecting the best from people, even the difficult ones. Holding a positive belief about their potential, it actually subtly influences how they behave.
Okay, expect the best.
And the Franklin effect is about showing a little vulnerability by asking for their advice or help. You put those two together, it can really disarm resistance and invite cooperation, almost like a secret weapon.
Wow, okay, that sounds sophisticated.
Hmm.
Can you give us a real-life example, especially with someone genuinely difficult?
Absolutely. There's a great one from a family holiday gathering. There was this one relative, let's call her Carol. And Carol was, pretty low on openness, low on extroversion. Basically, she really didn't like new people at family events and tended to keep to herself.
Uh-oh. Holiday stress incoming.
Totally. My mom was worried about how Carol would react to some new guests they'd invited. Classic dilemma. But instead of just bracing for awkwardness, they decided to try this Pygmalion-Franklin combo.
So instead of just avoiding Carol or hoping she'd be okay, they actually talked to her directly.
Exactly. They went to Carol. But instead of expecting her to be difficult, Pygmalion part expect the best, they asked for her help, Franklin part. They said something like, Carol, would you please help make the newcomers feel welcome? We're going to be so busy with the food running around. We'd absolutely love it if that could just be your job tonight.
Giving her a job, a mission.
Yes. She'd never been asked to do anything like that before. Usually she was just kind of expected to sit quietly. They gave her a role, valued her, expected she could do it, and asked for her help with something important.
And did it work?
Amazingly well. She completely embraced it, marched right up to the new guests, introduced herself, showed them where to sit, asked if they needed drinks. It totally changed her behavior, changed the whole vibe because they gave her a role, trusted her, and acknowledged she has something valuable to contribute.
Wow. That's powerful.
So if you remember just one thing from our deep dive today, let it be this. People skills. They're not just some fuzzy art or a talent you're either born with or not.
Right.
Like Michael said, he realized it's a skill I can learn, even though he always thought it was an art. And Jason added, yeah, they feel like soft skills, but they actually elevate everything. They are learnable, actionable tools. Tools that empower you to proactively design your interactions, design your relationships for success, for fulfillment, moving you from just reacting to life to consciously creating your social world.
I love that. It really does shift the whole perspective, doesn't it? From just passively hoping connections work out to actively, strategically building them. It seems simple, but it feels really profound. Thanks for breaking all that down for us.
Yeah.
And if you want to dive deeper into these, frankly, game-changing ideas and really start unlocking your own people skills, definitely check out the links to the original course material and other resources we've put in the show notes.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'd genuinely love to hear from you. Which idea resonated most? Or maybe you have a story about using a people skill that worked really well. Drop us a comment or find us on social media and share it. And maybe just one final thought to leave you with as you go about your week. Research often shows that people, towards the end of their lives, tend to regret the things they didn't do much more than the things they did, especially around relationships and connections. So thinking about that, what's maybe one conversation you've been putting off, one person you've hesitated to reach out to, or perhaps one boundary you've been a little afraid to set that, if you took that step, could unlock a whole new level of connection or fulfillment for you? Something to think about.